everybody. Welcome to another edition of POCommunity. I'm Mike Arboyd, and I'm sitting here with Deanna Klena from the West Coast Lifestyle Group. How's it going?
It's going. Thank you so much for having me here. I
No
really appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank you for coming in. We love having people in here and people working locally, right?
Yes.
So, tell us a little about yourself, Deanna.
The story could go back a long ways. I was born in Poland, so I'm originally from Poland. And at about age 9, we moved to Ontario. So we lived there for a number of years. And we came to Canada with nothing. I mean, coming from a communist country, it was hard. I don't know how my parents did it. It's truly a long story, but my mom's my hero. She brought us here. I have the opportunities that I do here that I could never imagine having elsewhere. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, we lived in Ontario, and then I came here at the age of 13. So I've been here, living here my very long adult and teenage life,
Yeah.
and I love it. I can't imagine living anywhere else rather than BC.
Nice,
Yeah, so
nice.
it's been amazing.
Awesome. So, West Coast Lifestyle Group is a realty group, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
so how did you get into realty?
So real estate, I mean, first of all, it's been a passion of mine forever, and I know a lot of people say that they love looking at homes and so forth, but for me it was different. I've since I was 20, I wanted to some way, shape, or form wanted to be in real estate. I loved it. I was looking at all sorts of information in terms of um, rent to own or like anything whatsoever. I wanted to know about real estate, but didn't have the means to become a realtor. So this was 20 years ago, and I didn't. So did the job thing. I went to work. I always wanted to be self-employed. I always wanted to be my own boss. I always sounded so appealing. However, I went through life working, and I went from a real estate company as an administrator to a sales manager at a hotel industry. And everything started when I actually got laid off. So I got laid off from the hotel industry, and I remember this so vividly. I was sitting on my couch and I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do now? Yesterday, I had a job. I had a stable job in the hotel industry, and this morning I didn't. And I had to think about it really clearly and a lot, and I decided to go full on into real estate and follow my dreams finally. So I called UBC, I got the courses, and I studied for months and months and months, and that was about 11 years ago.
Nice, nice. So it's kind of like what a lot of people are going through right now, specifically with COVID, like either being laid off, that they're almost able to look at it as a somewhat of a blessing where they can go and do what they're passionate about with the time that they've been given. If they've been laid off, they have a little bit more time to maybe go and try to do something they didn't want to leave that secure job for in the beginning, right? Like it can be looked at, everybody can look at the half glass full, half glass empty aspect of everything, right?
That is such a good point because when I was laid off on that day, it felt like the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't have security anymore. I was scared. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. However, looking back, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. And I think if finding those opportunities and looking for other ways to move on and move forward and maybe have an opportunity to follow your dreams right now is huge.
Yeah, it's very, very key to me, at least. I feel it, like I saw it when we were building this place, just people starting podcasts now, people starting just different passion projects, right? How has COVID affected your business this year?
And that's such a valid question, and I get that quite a bit. So, I mean, when COVID really hit us hard was March, April, maybe even into May, and I felt a huge slowdown in my business. I was not working.
Mm,
I was housewifing, like I
mm,
say, and I wasn't working, and it was a scary time. It was a scary time not knowing what's going to happen to our market, not knowing where my business is going to come from, not knowing where like the money, like anything is gonna. It was a really, really scary, uncertain time. However, staying positive and moving forward was the key because what was I going to do? Just throw up my hands and call it quits? Like you just had to keep moving forward. So for me at that time was really important to just follow up with people and just say, "Are you okay?" And it became more personal. It became more, I really want to make sure everybody's doing okay, because it was such a hard hit for a lot of people. And a lot of people it wasn't. People were still working, people were still doing their thing. However, there was a lot of people that were scared. They
Yeah.
didn't know what was going on. So the market wasn't moving. There wasn't a lot of things happening because people weren't going to get into the market because they weren't sure what was going to happen. There was so much uncertainty with everything. This is global, like this was crazy. And then when we went into the year, interest rates continued to go down, and a lot of people from spring, they were just weren't ready to move forward because they were so scared. They moved forward with purchasing and selling. So we actually started, the market started picking up into the summer, the fall seasons, which is fantastic. The rates were low. People were like, you know what, we just need to move on. People were figuring out that they could work from home, so they were looking at other options, maybe with more space. Uh, in terms of working in this new normal, as
Mm.
everybody is saying,
Yeah.
um, of course, we are making sure we take precautions, that we wear masks, sanitize, social distance. Wherever clients feel more comfortable, we would do Zoom calls. Zoom has become such a huge part of my business right now. So things have truly, truly changed in our business, which is which is actually, there's a lot of parts of it that are so positive. We're learning to do things differently. We're learning to work from home and be effective. We're learning to be very responsible. So I think it's an interesting time for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Has there been a lot more online like purchases, like people just doing the almost like the tours, the virtual tours online and actually purchasing through that?
I haven't found that, no,
No.
but we're definitely upping our marketing online.
Yeah.
So for us to reach people, I think it was more important to do more virtual
Yeah.
tours, more things online, because that's where people were. They were on their computers. They weren't out looking at properties unless they were serious.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to take that risk.
Yeah.
And they still don't. Right now our numbers are higher,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to take that risk if it's unnecessary. So we're almost getting more serious people through the door.
Yeah.
So we're going to have people that are pre-qualified. They're ready to go. They know what they want. They're not just going to go from home to home to home just because they want to check out the decor.
Yeah.
But they're going to be more serious. They're
Yeah.
going to be like, you know what? I know exactly what I want, and that's what I'm going for. I'm not going to waste my time and risk potential health and being out more and so forth.
Yeah, that's really good to do it that way. Actually, it's very just I don't know, it's adapting with the online concept of everything now. I think every business has to, and that's where we've seen restaurants. If they weren't delivering or if they weren't doing takeout before,
They are
they
now.
are now.
Yeah.
If you don't, the mom and pop businesses is why so many are going under because they're not adapting. They're not willing to change. Right now, you have to. If people aren't leaving their house, there's some people that like I mean, politics gets involved with everything that some people aren't are living like it's normal. But there's a huge majority of the population that's scared of going out, right? And scared of doing things regularly again, right?
Absolutely. And a lot of people have valid reasons. If they
Yeah,
have health issues, or they're with their
yeah,
parents or elderly,
yeah,
they have valid reasons to be scared. And we have to be responsible.
yeah,
And as realtors, I think because we're in contact with so many people, it's even more important.
yeah,
It's more important to take the precautions. And we're in people's homes. And we're bringing people to people's homes. And we're
yeah.
bringing people to your home. So it's that much more important to really take those precautions and really take it seriously,
Yeah,
honestly.
100%.
Yeah.
That's very true. So obviously you guys are a team there. Tell us about your team.
I love my team. Yesterday we just did a business planning session, and I got to learn about their goals and how giving, and there a lot of so much of their goals were a contribution, and it just warms my heart. So I have a team of 3 realtors and a fabulous administrator and marketing director. As a realtor, I can't claim to do everything. I cannot be the marketing guru. I can't be the expert in photos and everything. I have a team for that. So it's fabulous to be able to work together. We support each other. We embrace and celebrate the wins, and we support and console each other in our losses.
Yeah.
because this business has those huge ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. It's just the reality of it all. So to be able to have this team that's, and my vision for the team was to be like a family.
Yeah.
So we have Shala, Roxanne, Alan, the realtors, and myself, of course, licensed. And then Hansina, she's our administrator, and
Yeah.
she's fabulous. She's behind the scenes. She's still communicating with our clients to make sure they get the absolute best service. So that team dynamic is what I've always dreamt to build, and that chemistry.
Yeah, that's great. Especially, I think this year too, especially having a solid team that can keep each other's positivity up. If you don't want those negative Nazis around all the time, right? So when you have a good team that's willing to adapt, that's willing to do what they have to do to make things work in these difficult times, having that solid team around you is so key, right?
Oh, it's everything. It's
Yeah.
everything to have those people and have amazing people around you. I mean, they keep me going. They keep
Yeah.
me motivated. They keep me inspired because I, they're looking to me like this is my team. This is my brainchild, and it's just really amazing. And I'm so looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in 2021. I mean, we are huge into giving back and contribution. In November, we're helping out with the Vancouver Food Bank. I mean, it breaks my heart to be driving on Winston Slip, for example, and I look over and there's a lineup, huge lineup to the food bank. So we're going to be volunteering. We want to give back. We sponsored Burnaby, the Burnaby Farmers Market as well, and we were attending there for months and months, of course, with taking all the precautions and so forth. However, just to be part of the community is so important, and I think the whole team having the same vision and coming from a place of contribution,
Yeah.
coming from a place of giving, it's spectacular.
Yeah, I know it's definitely it feels good. That's kind of like here. We know how difficult it is as small businesses, entrepreneurs, and pretty much anybody right now. It's difficult to basically keep going hard and basically having your being able to what's the word, it's being able to take control of everything. So having any help along the way, like we're doing these podcasts for free for our guests because we want to help promote during a tough time, as well as
Yeah.
it helps promote us, right? So I feel this year I it's been a crazy emotional year for so many people on so many different levels, but I feel like communication between people is somewhat getting stronger if they want it to, and people are sensing that like that trust and that community between people. So when you're helping out your community in these difficult times, maybe you were already doing it before, but going crazy with it now, I think is so like just needed,
It
right?
really is. And there's so many people that needed that much more this
Yeah,
time around. So, and I love what you guys are doing. And thank you.
no
And
problem.
I really, really appreciate and coming here and doing a tour. I love what you guys going on here. I mean, the workspaces, the classroom setting, like it's fantastic. So I love what you guys are doing and yeah,
Thank
just keep
you.
doing a good job.
I appreciate
Place
it.
is so cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. le- uh, Here's a random question, but I want to ask it because like obviously you're passionate about what you do. What is your favorite part about real estate? What is it like that sale to someone that's like a first time homeowner, or like what is your favorite thing about selling
Oh,
houses?
so much, so much. There is so many ups and downs, and it's crazy because it's like this crazy drug, right?
Yeah,
When the downs are down and you've lost a deal for your client or something happened that was uncontrollable or whatever it is, they're just it's devastating. And then you get your first time home buyer getting themselves into their first place and you're getting them keys and they're starting to not they're paying their own mortgage instead of somebody else's,
yeah,
and it's just so rewarding. So I think to answer your question, first time home buyers, like
yeah,
I love it, but there's so many aspects. Like we're dealing with such a huge important decision,
yeah,
sale or purchase, and life changing for people. If they're selling for a number of reasons.
yeah,
It's life changing for them. Are they upsizing? Are they downsizing? Are they maybe divorcing?
yeah,
Good or bad? It's life changing. And then you have your first time home buyers, and they're just, I love working with them because they just they don't know any. anything. They
Yeah.
just need your help so much. And I love going through that. And no question is silly. And we go from step one all the way to the very end and getting them keys and getting that testimonial from them and having them spend the time to give back and do that is probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
It's probably the keys, like getting a buyer into their first home, or there's nothing like it
Yeah. Yeah.
to
That's,
change their life like that. Like you're part of that big decision for them. And it's a big responsibility too.
yeah.
It really is. Like if they're getting into the wrong property, it's not going to go well.
Yeah. No, no.
But, and that's why a lot of our business is done by referral because
Yeah.
we work so hard for people and we want to make sure they're taken care of. And it matters.
Yeah.
It matters to me and it matters to my team. So, yeah, when they get the keys and their equity is growing and they can upsize and they can go from there. There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. No, it's that trust too. Like you, when you can tell your real estate agent is not just trying to sell whatever they have available at the time, just trying to sell you on that idea instead of taking what you want and trying to find what you want for you. It's nice to see when somebody is actually looking out for your best interests. Um, yeah, because I mean, in every field of work, you're going to have the good and the bad. So it's really good to see positivity, and it's really good to see someone that you know you can trust and feel
Mhm.
like you know they have like it's not always about money,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And I think that's so secondary. It's like the last thing on the list because a happy client is so much more important for your soul, for future referrals, for future business.
Yeah,
And and that's how I grew my business.
yeah,
Mostly right now, it's all mostly referrals and past clients coming back to us to work with us because they know how much we cared, because we know how hard we work for them.
yeah. That's wicked. Uh, do you find that people are looking for more like uh, not well, I don't know how to word this, but permanent homes now? Are they looking for more of like a like if they're moving, they're going to be staying there. They want it basically. They don't know where times are going right now. And it's like if they've sold their places, move somewhere different, either downsizing or
Mhm.
upsizing. That it's almost like they don't want to do it very soon again. This is kind of like almost like a needed thing to do this year. Like,
Yeah.
because I know like they're like I said, upsizing or downsizing. There's people like you said that would be upsizing to do more like have more space to do work from home,
Mhm.
and there's people that might be downsizing because they realize, oh, tough times, I want to get some money in, and I realize I don't need all this space, right?
Mhm. No, absolutely. And people again sell and buy for many different reasons,
Yeah,
and I think that hasn't changed.
yeah,
However, what has changed is the more of the upsizing.
yeah,
People are in, as an example, we just helped a one of our buyers buy in Harrison Hot Springs. So one of my amazing team members works out that way. So she took them out and they love this home. So a two-bedroom condo in Vancouver, obviously with a good job and good credit and all
mhm,
this stuff, being able to buy something in the Harrison Hot Springs, a house, a
yeah,
detached home. So it was a fabulous transition for them. It's further, but
mm,
guess what? Now they're working from home. They don't have to travel.
yeah,
So why not? Why not have the space?
yeah,
So I am finding a lot more people are moving from Vancouver
yeah,
and moving outside, going to the Fraser Valley, going to Mission, Maple Ridge.
mm,
And that's where I'm seeing a lot of the trend. That's not everybody, of course. However, a lot of the trend is especially with people that work from home.
yeah,
Like for example, with this couple, they've been in a two-bedroom and now they need more because one of them is an office
yeah,
and one of them is working out of the living room. So it's challenging when
yeah,
one person needs to go to the kitchen and grab something, but one person's working in the living room. So they needed more space. So I find that that's kind of where things are happening, especially with couples that both can work from home
yeah,
and have secure jobs. So I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, is my job secure?
yeah,
Because if we did April and May and March and it was secure, it should be secure now. So
mm,
I think people are still confident in the market. We are seeing that anywhere from condos to townhomes to detached homes, it's all in the seller's market right now. So
yeah.
things are definitely moving, which is a very positive thing that our market hasn't really been affected that much.
That's very good. And obviously, like you said in the beginning, it's always super scary because everybody was so not knowing what's going to happen. And through talking through friends and just people through here, there's tons of people that look at this at home working situation as not just this year. That's why they're upsizing to property that they're going to possibly doing this for years now. And that's because companies have actually made that decision. Like, actually, we can cut costs here.
Mhm.
We have our staff work from home. We don't know how long this is going to last, but they can work from home. We're going to cut costs on all these leases we have to sell.
Yeah.
Like work is getting done. People are noticing that work can be done from like spaces either from home or even spaces like ours where it's gonna save companies like huge amounts of money. You got buildings of certain companies in downtown Vancouver that are empty right now just because
Yeah.
they are taking this super seriously. But you can imagine what they're paying. You would know probably what they're paying in a lease agreement
Mhm.
for a downtown Vancouver office.
Oh yeah, let's say in the Bentel or something, you
Yeah,
have 3 floors, and now you're downsizing to 1 floor, and employees are coming in a couple times a week, and they're alternating and all this stuff. They're just making it work. So COVID is a horrible thing that we're going through. However, there are some positives to take from it as well, and things like that.
yeah,
And we're finding ways to be more efficient. We're adapting, and as human beings, we adapt, and it's not a horrible thing.
yeah,
Corporations are going to keep a lot more money because they're not using it for leases. They can maybe give that back to the employees. They can support their Wi-Fi bills and their office space. People can write off their office space. And again, I'm not an accountant, but they can figure out how to do that. And so there's a lot of advantages to this. So it's fabulous. I think there's a lot of awesome things that's coming from this and how we're adapting.
yeah, for sure. Do you think that obviously the amount of money that governments have been giving out in Canada specifically just because of trying to support people, do you think that that's going to come back on property tax at all?
Oh, the crystal ball,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
crystal ball. I'm still looking for that
Because they're
crystal
gonna
ball.
have to pay this somehow, and we're talking like at the end of this, depending on how long this lasts, it could be trillions of dollars of debt
Yeah,
that they print these checks for, like just to support the whole, not the whole population, but a
a
good
lot of
population.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they're running into the issue too of they gave people a pretty good amount of money that there's people that might not want to go back to work that don't make that amount of money. Why would they go back to work if they can't make
They're
that?
making more on their
And they're
couch.
making more, right? So yeah, but like they're gonna have to tax people everywhere, and they always tend to do it to homeowners or just people that I don't know already seem to have a lot of costs already,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
true.
do you see that forthcoming?
Honestly, I can't speak to that.
Yeah,
I know we're going to be paying it some way,
yeah,
shape, or form. So brace yourselves, like
yeah,
save your pennies, because at the end of the day, it has to be paid back.
yeah,
What are we going to do? I mean, I think it was necessary
yeah,
to keep things organized, to keep things afloat. I think it was necessary. However, I also feel that people need to find opportunities right now to find work. I know construction's been busy. There's a lot of places that are still looking for people to work.
yeah,
So there are jobs out there if people really want them.
yeah. There is
Let's face
tons.
it, right? It's just that yes, it's maybe not what people want or whatever, but there is certain things out there. There's companies that are still looking to hire.
Yeah,
So there is that, and we're gonna be paying. We have to.
yeah,
We have to. I mean, it again, it kept things at bay. It kept things calm. I mean, people need to survive. People need funds, especially if they're not working. However, it's time to consider that right now to
yeah. 100
rein it
percent.
back a little bit.
Yeah. So we're located in Poco, so the Tri Cities, the market in the Tri Cities. Have you seen much of a change this year? But just like in the last like 5 years in general, has it gone up, gone down, stayed the same?
In terms of activities, I mean, from 5 years, I mean, the market's always been amazing.
Yeah, it's
It's hard
crazy.
to say, and throughout the year you'll have your ups and downs. So comparing it to 5 years, I mean, it's been good.
Mm,
Our markets are still strong. I love real estate. My goal is to get everybody into real estate because I think it's such a great investment. I mean, we were talking beforehand, and you're like, I made a buttload of money on buying something
yeah,
because it's real estate,
yeah,
right? So I think that real estate's always going to be strong. I do believe that in my heart. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in this industry,
yeah,
and I think everybody needs a place to live. Um, from 5 years, again, it's always been great. It's always
yeah,
it has its ups and downs throughout the year, and different areas have different markets,
Yeah.
right? Condos could be down 1 month, and townhomes could be up 1 month. Like right now, really strong in townhomes and detached homes, actually,
Yeah.
really strong. Just because again, people are upsizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Either from
yeah.
apartment to townhome or townhome to detached, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. And so things have always moved, things are always selling. If they're priced well, look good, why wouldn't they? So I think everybody's always in the market. And what better place to live than here?
There's nowhere better in the world. Like I know
Right?
they say BC stands for bring cash, but it's like I mean it's worth it in the long run. I mean we know what Vancouver is. So living downtown, you were saying 2 bedroom condos for the price of a house out in Harrison Hot Springs, and that's even talking. You can get a 2 bed or a 3 bedroom house in Maple Ridge for the price of a 2 bedroom condo in
Yeah.
Vancouver easily, and that's like what was considered the boonies even 5 years ago is not anymore. People are moving out to Ridge, to Mission, to
Yeah.
Abbotsford, and it's becoming more like a realistic thought in people's minds. It's really not that far. It
No.
really is not that
Mm-mm.
far out.
No. And especially if you're commuting to work, what, once a week, twice a week, or
Yeah,
not at all,
yeah,
it's amazing, and you can
yeah,
get a little bit more for your money. So
yeah,
so I mean, the market is it's always moving. It's always moving. There's always going to be ups and downs. At the end of the day, it's just always desirable.
yeah.
People need a place to live.
Yeah, and I always try to, I'm not a real estate agent. I always try to sell to my friends that don't own. Just the idea of like when you buy, your money isn't disappearing. That's not like when you're paying rent and that's gone. It's gone. When you pay a mortgage, not the interest, but when you actually start paying
The
down
principal,
onto your
yeah.
mortgage, you will get all that back. Especially in Vancouver, we ain't going down. It's not gonna start dropping to a point where you're gonna be losing money on your property. So, yeah, it's I just try to drive that into people's heads, like save what you can. When if you ever get any kind of money in any
Put it in real
way,
estate.
to put it in real estate. If you don't want to live there, even if you have a good opportunity, but you don't want to live there, rent it yourself, rent it out to somebody because you could easily make a good amount of money right back and
A hun-
pay
100%.
yourself
Yeah.
back. It's the only thing that keeps on giving.
Yeah. 100%. And you look at history, like in the early 80s, early 90s, 2008, we've had drops in the
Yeah,
market. But what happened right after? Right? We skyrocketed. It's always been amazing. Real
yeah,
estate's always been good. So my goal in life, just make sure everybody is a homeowner.
yeah,
However they choose to do it, everybody needs to be a homeowner. It's just so important.
yeah, yeah. I can't drive that into people's heads enough, to be honest.
Let me talk to them.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
for
have
sure.
a chat with
We'll
them.
send them your way.
Just send them my
Uh,
way. We'll take care of them.
so where can we find you online? Everything, social media.
We're everywhere. We
Yeah,
are everywhere. So yes, vancityproperties.ca is our website. Contact me directly. My phone is always on 604-789-8202. Email, Instagram, Facebook, however you want to communicate. I am easy to reach. We, as a team, we do residential and commercial real estate. We do have Alan who does a lot of our commercial from leasing to businesses and so forth. So he's fabulous. He's been in business 10 years, so tons of experience there. So we're able to help anybody that really even just curious about the market or curious if they're qualifying.
nice.
We have contacts. We have amazing mortgage brokers. We have amazing people that we work with. So we're happy to pass them on and see if there is a fit and see if they can do something for anybody really, or sit down for a buyer consultation.
Oh,
How does
nice.
the process work from A to Z?
Yeah.
What happens? So we're super happy to work with anybody that's just interested in the market.
Awesome, awesome to
Yeah.
hear. I'll definitely put all your contacts up in the end
Send
of
them
this
our way.
video. Yeah, we'll send them your way. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I guess that's everything.
That's
I really appreciate you having us on, and I really do. This is awesome.
thank you for coming in. I love talking real estate. It's one thing that I almost thought I wish I got into. Same with Erin, my wife. Always thought she'd be amazing at it.
She would
So
be. She's great.
yeah, so we've been thinking like it's just like it's always something that you can do, right? It's like not that you have those moments where you don't wish for those moments where everything you lose your job or whatever, but it's something to always look into because
Mhm.
yeah, it's like you said, it's just keeps on keeps on going, and real estate's never gonna die. So
No, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's not for the faint of heart,
yeah,
but it's a great business. So if anybody does also want to get into the industry, they can contact me and ask me questions. I will be very honest.
sounds great. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us. This has been another edition of POCommunity. I'm Mike Arboit. She's Deanna. Have a good one.